Last week, I talked about Pink Slush Alani. Who wants one? You've got to come up and give an ad read for it, if you really want it. An ad read, like you've got to advertise the Pink Slush Alani if you want it. It's a Pink Slush Alani. Oh, here comes Heath.
So, Pink Slush has saved my life multiple times. One time, I was flying a plane in the middle of the night, and I was about to fall asleep and crash in like 9/11. And then Pink Slush. And so we didn't have the remake of 9/11. So it's all the Pink Slush. And yeah.
Who else wants to give an ad read? Does nobody else want to advertise Pink Slush Alani? You just have to, yeah, I have one more. Well, you have to come up and give the ad read. You've got to convince the people to buy Pink Slush Alani as well. You just go for it. You need, can we get, like, I don't know, something?
Play music right
now. Yeah, just play something.
Elevator music. Yeah. Elevator music. We're getting elevator music for this. Do you know what you're saying?
Elevator music?
Yeah, elevator music, please.
Elevator music is preferable here. ELEVATOR? Or is it ER?
Has anybody ever been having a really just down day where you're feeling tired, feeling low on energy, and you just think, what could I drink right now that would just fill me up with energy? During a Bible study, you're about to fall asleep and you just can't bring yourself to keep your eyes open to continue to read the words. And you're like, I really want to dive into the word of the Lord, but what am I supposed to do when I can barely stay awake? I got 2 hours of sleep last night. What am I going to do? Well, I would like to introduce you to Alani. Beautiful can, it's beautiful, and it tastes delicious. Gorgeous. Pink Slush? Who doesn't want that? I would totally suggest running down to your local store and getting yourself an energy drink. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Sure. That was really good.
Do we get the Dunkin' now?
I've already drank from this.
I'll take it.
No.
Don't worry, I got my own. What's your order?
What? My order from Dunkin', for future reference, it's either the Sabrina's Daydream Refresher Strawberry or an iced latte with 3 French vanilla, 3 liquid cane sugar, and cold foam on top. Okay, never mind. I'm not talking to this side of the room anymore. Do you want to pull up that? All right. Do you want to pull up that first slide for me? Or I guess the next slide. Silence exercise. We're going to sit in silence for a minute.
Why?
You're already ruining it. I'm going to set a timer on my stopwatch. We're going to sit in silence for a minute. During this minute, try not to move, talk, or make any noise. Just sit still and see what happens. All right, that was about 20 seconds. The funny point was, I knew that was going to happen. JC, how did that feel?
Bad. Delaney tickled me.
Was it easy or hard?
Very hard.
What kinds of things were going through your mind during that 20 seconds?
Don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh.
Raise your hand if you, like JC, were repeating over and over, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's try again.
All right, we'll try again. And quiet. All right, well, that was 4 seconds that time. I think I know the bit there. There's a lot of Oreo on my paper. I don't know how that got there.
Probably me.
All right, anyways, sometimes silence feels uncomfortable. Our minds fill with noise, worries, or distractions. Today we'll be reading from Psalm 46, if you guys want to turn there. And this psalm reminds us to find peace in the middle of all that noise, not by escaping it, but by turning to God in the midst. I have it up on the board, but if you have one of the shared Bibles, just shout out the page number so other people can get to it as well. What? 278. Awesome. All right, who wants to read? Can you read that? Yeah. All right, read verses 1 through 3.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear through the earth give way, through the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, through its waters roar and foam, through the mountains tremble at its swelling. Selah.
All right, so I forgot to point this out. I have questions if you want to pull them up, Gideon. Ask yourself as we're reading through these, what stands out? What emotions do I feel when reading this psalm? You can go back to it. Can I get somebody to read verses 4 to 9? What emotions do you feel when reading this psalm?
There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is within her, she will not fail. God will help her at break of day. Nations are in an uproar, kingdom fall. He lifts his voice, and earth melts. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Come and see the works of the Lord in desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire.
All right, thank you. Can I get somebody to read verses 10 and 11? Fiona?
He says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in earth. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress."
All right, thank you, guys. All right, remember those questions. Gideon, do you want to pull them back up? What stands out and what emotions do I feel when reading this psalm? 3 things stick out to me. I've written them down for Gideon to pull up. Main points: God is our refuge and strength. God is in control even when the world feels out of control. Be still and know. That first point, God is our refuge and strength, it comes from Psalm 46, verses 1 through 3. So let's be real for a second. The world is chaotic. From political to social issues, there really is no rest for us. There will be challenges you face. There will be anxieties and mental health struggles. He does not promise a life without storms, but the Lord promises to be with us in the middle of them. See, verse 1, it points out God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. He'll be there with us in those moments of waning and trial. If you want to pull up verses John 16:33, can I get some readers for these? John 16:33.
I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world.
Acts 14:22.
Strengthening the souls of the disciples, encouraging them to continue in the faith, and saying that through many tribulations we must enter the kingdom of God.
All right, can somebody read Romans 3 through 4? Go for it.
Not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope.
Thank you. Again and again, we are reminded of the truth that there is struggle, but even still, God is there beside us. These men writing these words were followers of Christ. They're speaking the truth here. They're saying, I've been through the struggle, but God is there still. The perfect story of God being there quite literally in the fire is through Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When everything feels uncertain, God's presence gives us stability. What are some storms in your life, and how could remembering God as your refuge change how you face those things? When school, sports, family, or friends feel overwhelming, God doesn't remove every storm. He anchors you in it. Refuge here does not mean escape. It means confidence that God is with you in the middle of chaos. You don't have to pretend everything is fine to have peace. Peace is what you have when you rest in God's strength, not your own. God is in control even when the world feels out of control. This is found in Psalm 46, 4 through 9. In verses 4 to 5, it paints a picture of a peaceful river running through the city of God, a symbol of God's presence bringing peace. In ancient times, cities with rivers were hard to conquer. Can anyone guess why? It's because they always had water. That seems like it's right on the nose, but it is. It's really hard to conquer people if you can't cut off their resources. The river in verse 4 symbolizes God's presence, life-giving, refreshing, and unshakable. Even when nations rage and kingdoms fall, God's presence brings calm. Verses 8 through 9 show God's power and ability to bring peace and end chaos. He's bigger than all the conflict. The psalm ends with a vision of peace. God ends wars and breaks weapons. He's not just comforting us, he's actively bringing peace to a broken world. Isaiah 41:10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God." Colossians 1:17, "He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." Psalm 93:4, "Mightier than the thunder of many waters, mightier than the waves of the sea, the Lord on high is mighty." God's peace is not fragile. The world can be loud, chaotic, and unstable. This is just the nature of a fallen world. We sin and cause destruction, but God never loses control. When life feels like it's falling apart, God is still in the midst. He is right there with you. The same God who calmed the sea with a word still speaks peace into our storms today. Be still and know. Psalm 46, 10 through 11 remind us to be still and how it is more than a physical stillness. It means ceasing the inner struggle to control everything. It is an invitation to surrender and rest in who God is. The psalmist doesn't say, be strong and fix it on your own, rub some dirt on it, get up, you'll be fine, keep fighting on your own. He says, be still and know. In Hebrew, the word know is yada, which implies personal, experiential knowledge, not just knowing about God, but knowing him deeply. It's remembering how God has cared for you and brought you peace before. Being still doesn't mean doing nothing. It means trusting fully. It's pausing long enough to remember that God is bigger than your stress. God is bigger than your schedule. God is bigger than whatever situation you could be in. True peace comes from knowing who God is, not from everything around you being perfect. This week, take some time to be still. No phone, no music, just prayerful, quiet, and focusing on the truth about God's character. God is faithful. God is my refuge. God is with me. So a little bit ago, I was listening to my DJX on Spotify. Shout out Spotify AI. When I was starting to prep for this lesson and started brain dumping, I had a plan to do this lesson already, and this song started playing. Complete coincidence, I think. But what a perfect song to help me go through and prepare and write this lesson. I probably listen to this song just about every day. which is a really bad thing for me because I can ruin songs by listening to them too much. I don't know if that's a big issue for you guys. Raise your hand if that is. Yeah, I ruin songs by listening to them too much. There are a few songs on my playlist that it's just immediate skip because I've listened to them too much. I really hope I don't do that to myself because I do love this song. I sent it to Ryan immediately after it came up, and I didn't want it to be left out of the set list tonight. The reason it came up on my Spotify was because this past February I was listening to it while I was in chapel at school. Shout out OBC Chapel. They played it, and I really did need to hear it then. That was a real God moment in my life. I was going through a time where there was a lot of chaos, a lot of stress, and a lot of anxiousness. I was playing volleyball, and I had an injury to my quad, and I had to sit out a game. And I never got back to full health. My coaches decided to keep me on the bench, and I was really upset. I was upset with my coaches, and I was angry with God. I thought God was taking away a part of me, something that I had built up for so long. I had a practice where I freaked out on my teammates and my coach. I yelled at a lot of people, and I left storming. Soon after, I talked to my coach, and I was very real with him, and I told him what was going on. I told him I was feeling really anxious. I told him I was upset that I wasn't playing, and I told him that I felt like he was the reason for my anger and destruction. And I felt like I didn't deserve my spot on the team anymore, and I told my coach that. And I asked to be moved to the practice team and to step down from the main squad. I heard this song the next day, like I said in chapel. I needed to rest in God and be still. I was so caught up in the emotions of volleyball, and I felt like I was losing a part of me, but God was showing me that I needed to remove that and let Him take over that spot in my life. I found peace in God and started to look where He really wanted me. I realized I am not in control, and I just needed to relinquish the parts of me that thought I was the dictator, and God was not in control. Psalm 46 moves from chaos to calm, from fear to faith. The psalmist begins with shaking mountains and roaring seas, but ends with the command to be still. Peace is not found in escaping trouble, but in encountering God. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. That is the promise you can hold on to. You are never alone, and your peace is found in His presence. I was doom scrolling today on Instagram, and I came across a devotional about this psalm as well, and it says, this psalm is about the world being in complete and utter chaos, wars and rumors of wars, and it says that this is what is happening, but here is the Lord of hosts. And when it says the Lord of hosts, it's talking about the God who controls armies of earth and heaven. And this is how it concludes. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress, this strong tower, the unmovable. And the devotional ended with the questions, do you believe God is in control? And sometimes that's easy to say yes to. But the meaningful question is, do you trust God's control? A closing exercise we'll do right now. In your notebooks, we're going to go through a prayer guide. Just write down these 3 starter prayers. God, you are my refuge when? Teach me to be still when? Help me to trust that you are in control even when. I'm going to have you guys practice this exercise as the band comes up to close us out. Just take a moment, be still, be present with God. Thank Him and pray to Him. And remember, He is in control even when we don't feel like He is.